Hello, happy Wednesday. So it's been a bit since I've done a meal plan. I had a big conference for my work that I actually planned and hosted. So a lot of work going into that in the weeks leading up to it, and then like actually doing it last week. So it is over. It's done. It was successful. So I'm happy about that. But then I also realized that I'm also working right now on creating more space for rest in my life. Because yes, after all of that stress and dealing with that, I realized I love to work. I love to do my work. I love to do this work. Like I like to work. I like to create things. But sometimes that means that I get a little burnt out. So I'm trying to create more space for rest. And one of the things, instead of doing weekly meal plans, I'm going to start doing a monthly meal plan post. But if you're a What's Working Here subscriber, you will still get a weekly meal plan in my newsletter as long as I send out a newsletter that week. But for most weeks, I should be sending a newsletter. So this should be able to free me up so that I'm not constantly like trying to play catch up and doing meal plans, because creating the meal plan part, that didn't take me very long at all. But then I want to make sure I have all the containers right, all the links to the recipes are correct, the photos, the video. Like there's a lot of little stuff that goes into to posting, creating the meal plan post. The meal plan itself, not that hard. The meal plan post, a little bit more work goes into it. So let me go ahead and share. So for May's monthly meal plan, I chose a 4-week gut protocol meal plan. I follow 4-week gut protocol meal plan A. So I think all the containers should be correct for that. So if you are a higher meal plan, all you would need to do is add some extra containers. You could either double up on some of the stuff I've already got in there, or you can add in some extra things as well. So to take you through my meal planning process, to let you in on the reason why it's so quick for me to actually create the meal plan itself, is because I have a whole process, a whole system kind of created behind it. So the first thing I do is I do go in. I've just left this Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but I put the dates and the things that we have going on. So like we've got lots of soccer games, soccer practice. So I put those in there so that I know, hey, Monday night's a soccer game. I'm going to want to pick something that's quick and easy to make. I don't want to pick something that's going to take like an hour to cook, or I'm going to have to start making dinner at like 4. So go in, make note of those things. And then my meal one is the same every day. It's my shake. And for some people that may be like, oh, well, that sounds kind of boring. You have the same thing every day. But I've got a couple different flavors of Shakeology that I drink. I can mix it up with some different, sometimes I'll put like a cucumber in there instead of spinach. The cucumber and strawberry combination is really good. And then you can also add in some different fruits. So if instead of a banana, frozen cherries are really good to add in there, just to kind of make it a little bit different. But that is my meal one. So I copy that for every day. And then I pick 2 meal twos, so 2 breakfasts. I pick 2 of those for the week, and then I alternate them. So I've got a BLT on gluten-free bread, and then I picked using if you go into if you'll look at it, if you're on the post for with the meal plan, you can see I've got a link to the 4-week gut protocol meal plan cards. So I just went in and picked one of the breakfasts from those, the cauliflower grits with seared mushrooms and spinach. It's a 4-week gut protocol recipe, and then oatmeal. And then I alternated those for the week. You can see there's one day where there's an extra yellow somewhere. So I actually put it becomes a lettuce wrap instead. So different ways that you can do that as well. And then the next thing I do is I pick 2 meal threes for the week. So 2 lunches. And I kind of have same thing, use the cards. The recipes for the lunches are on my website. So if you click the link, you're going to go to the What's Working Here website with the lunches. So I chose the Southwest Salad Bowl and the Quinoa Garden Salad, and then I just alternated those. And then you can see here as well, so for dinner, I have a yellow, and since I only get 2 yellows a day, I do not have it with the rice cakes, but on Wednesday, I do not have a yellow with my dinner, so I added rice cakes. So that's just kind of a tip on how to kind of move things around, or if you get an extra yellow, you can eat the rice cakes and then you can have a yellow with your dinner, that kind of thing. So just a way to move things around with the containers. And then the next thing I do is I pick 2 meal fours, so 2 afternoon snacks for the week, and I alternate those. I like the little mini cucumbers. I just slice one up and eat it. And then strawberries and coconut yogurt. So I get the plain coconut yogurt, which tastes awful on its own. But if you add a little bit of honey and then mix it up and then add strawberries, it's delicious. So I chose that. And then I chose the watermelon spinach salad with blueberries and walnuts. So if you click on this link, it's going to take you to some snack recipes that are on my website. The recipe on here has feta cheese, but for 4-week gut protocol, there's no cheese, so I just took the cheese out and just used the walnuts instead. Again, a little tweak there. So you can come across recipes where you're like, oh, I really want to have that, but I can't. We're not supposed to be eating this week, or I really want this, but I don't like that little piece of it. You can still use that recipe, just make the tweaks how you need to. So now we've got the whole week blocked except for dinners. I cook 4 times a week. We do a leftover night, and then we eat out 2 nights a week. So don't try to make it so hard on yourself. So I pick 4 dinners for the week. The first one I did was the shrimp with pesto. Again, this is a recipe that's on the website. It has pasta with it. So I just removed the pasta from the recipe, and then I used zoodles, which are just zucchini noodles instead. You can either find them, I like to find them pre-made, or you can take a zucchini and you can spiral slice it for your zoodles there. On Monday, I chose the poached cod, which is a fixate recipe that you can find on beachbody.com. Tuesday, this is one of my favorite 4-week gut protocol recipes, chicken fried steak. Like who thought when you're eating healthy you'd be eating chicken fried steak, but a healthy version of chicken fried steak, which is from 4-week gut protocol, with some green beans and then mashed potatoes. You can see I noted it's a 1/4 cup of mashed potatoes. A yellow container is usually 1/2 cup, but there's a 1/2 of a yellow in the chicken fried steak recipe. So again, making tweaks here and there. And then on Wednesday night, the chicken a la king with cauliflower cream sauce. Now, the way I have my yellow containers lined out, I don't get an extra one. I think if you're like a B or higher, you do get an extra yellow container. And if you do, the chicken a la king with cauliflower cream sauce is excellent, served on top of some pasta that'll absorb that sauce. So that one's good as well. And then that's it. Thursday night is leftover night, or fend for yourself night, whatever you can pull together that's left. Friday night we eat out, and Saturday night we eat out. So that is the meal plan for May. If you have questions, let me know. Again, if you're a What's Working Here subscriber to my newsletter, you will be getting a weekly meal plan throughout the month, but from now on my posts are just going to be monthly posts on the website, but you can still get more meal plans if you subscribe to the newsletter. But if you have questions about meal planning, let me know. I am happy to help.